What's up, guys? I hope everybody is doing well this evening. Listen, guys, I wanted to do a quick pop up show, right? Because tonight was a pretty heavy show as we watched what happened on Triggs' show. Shout out to Triggs. It was a really great show. I really enjoyed myself there. And I want to share my thoughts on the show with you guys today and really get into kind of some of those things that the stuff that's been going on and the stuff that's still continuing to go on even after the show tonight. So we're going to get into it and my thoughts on these things. Yeah, you guys go ahead and sit back and relax because we'll be here for just a little while and just discuss some of this stuff. I've got a little time tonight, so I wanted to get into it. Tomorrow I will not have time. So I figured I would get into it tonight because I have this really cool ass Western party that I'm going to tomorrow. And so I won't be able to get into all the shenanigans tomorrow with you guys because I won't be around. So I wanted to make sure that I can get into this with you guys tonight. So make sure that y'all hit the like button on the way in. I really appreciate all of the engagement before and after the show, and everybody that hits the like as well. I do see those likes, and sometimes I make those likes depending on the conversation we're having. And depending on who we're talking about, sometimes I'll make those likes public, right? But oftentimes I don't. I just leave the likes not that way. That's something for me, and it's also something for YouTube because it pushes the video out in the algorithm, especially considering that I haven't been live that much. So it does definitely help to get it pushed out there. But I definitely want to give my opinion about a lot of this stuff and just kind of get into this tonight. Again, make sure you guys do hit the like button on the way in. And let's get into it. And then I will go ahead and greet you guys in just a moment. One of the things that's been bothering me the most about this situation is how crazy these people seem to be, right? And how they continue to just escalate and escalate and escalate. And I really just can't wrap my head around it, right? I really just cannot wrap my head around it until a friend of mine earlier today said something that made sense. And I'm going to read that scripture to you guys, okay, before we get into what we're about to get into. And it comes out of the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 28. And it says, furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind, so that they do what ought not to be done. They have become filled with every kind of wickedness, evil, greed, and depravity. They are full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, and malice. They are gossips, slanderers, God haters, insolent, arrogant, and boastful. They invent ways of doing evil. They disobey their parents. They have no understanding, no fidelity, no love, no mercy. Although they know God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve death, They not only continue to do these very things, but also approve of those who practice them. Romans chapter 1, verse 28 through 32. I hope you guys find that scripture comforting as I did in trying to wrap my head around why someone's behavior would become this depraved, why someone would go to these levels and to these extents with the things that they're doing for YouTube clout, right? Over 20 or 30 people, because it's not even that many people, right, that are even engaging with this. And to begin with, right, there's a few people that, or there's several people that are watching, but there's not that many people in actuality, if you look at the chat and all that stuff, that are actually engaging with them in this stuff, right? There's a handful of people that are, but most people are not engaging with this. So, but the people that are watching and that are spectating, like me and like you, right? The ones in the chat, we're all wondering and trying to wrap our righteous minds around how anybody could behave this way, even if there is a mental health condition, or anything like that. Because having a mental health condition doesn't excuse this type of behavior, right? So it gave me comfort, and shout out to my friend who sent that reminder to me, because I don't even think she was trying to, but this is what the Lord laid upon her heart, and it made absolute sense to me, right? Because God gives us every answer here in the Word, right? With anything that we look for, anything that we're trying to get clarity on and trying to have an understanding of. But this most definitely speaks exactly to what we're looking at. And it's sickening. It's sad, it's crazy, and it's sickening. I'm going to get into my commentary tonight now. But before I do, let me go ahead and say hi to you guys. I appreciate you, KKC, for being in the building. Also, my opinion, I appreciate you as well. And beautiful, I appreciate you for being in the building as well. Divine, I appreciate you. Good morning to you as well, Divine. It is like 1 o'clock in the morning here. I'm pretty sure it's probably like 6 or 7 over there. So shout out to you for being up nice and early, and I appreciate you for coming in today. You said here, but pretty sleepy. Hey, love, and adores you. Okay, if you get some rest, go ahead and do that. You can always catch the replay. I'm not taking the video down, so you can definitely come back and catch the replay. And like I said, I'm just going to give my commentary on the things that I'm thinking in regards to the show tonight. I did watch a little bit of Photons when he first started, and I listened a little bit up to the point where Stargate got off the panel when she realized that there was a phone call to her daughter. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to tell y'all what my opinion is of that. And what I think, is going on now. And it's nuts out here, y'all. It's crazy out here. Hey, QT, I appreciate you being in the building. You say pre you two just piece Mikey like this. Hey, y'all. Oh, I didn't know he was live. I didn't know Mikey was live. Shout out to Mikey. I'll come over there and check him out, or you can always come over or whatever. But I have to get my this opinion about this off my heart. Hey, Josephine, I appreciate you coming out today. I just got to get my opinion about this out, because I was really touched by the show. Right, I really do. I'm very fond of Ray Triggs. I really like him. I think he's a good person. We've had our moments where we talked our shit to each other and stuff like that. But I really don't dislike him as a person. I think he's a good person. I think he's funny. Hey, Keeper, appreciate you being in the building. I think he's funny. Even when we were joking and roasting each other, the shit he said about me, I thought was funny too. Right? You know, I never could get an understanding of why these people were doing this to him. And, obviously he doesn't have an understanding of it either. But we're gonna talk a little bit today about a lot of the things that he said. I have some key points that he brought up in the video that I'd like to discuss. Um, because I'm pretty interested, and well, I was pretty taken aback, I'll say, by a lot of things that I heard him say, right? There was some stuff that, I was laughing about and kikiing about and I thought was just hilarious. But there was some stuff I was very saddened by. And there was one point in the show I wanted to fucking fight. I'm not even gonna hold you. I wanted to slap the shit out of a bitch. Real shit. But hey P, appreciate you coming out. But I said a prayer and I let my blood pressure calm down, right? And just calm myself and said, I remember the video I did the other day. I did a video the other day, and I don't know if you guys watched it, but several people watched it. Several people obviously agreed with it. They put a lot of likes on it. So shout out to y'all. But in that video, I remember there were so many things that I wanted to say, right? There were so many things I wanted to say. But the Lord had me speaking a certain way. There was stuff that He would not let me say. And then, even in that, when I was even in the show, right, there was stuff that I wanted to show you guys, and I'll probably show you guys tonight. I still have the video in here in the StreamYard. Raw had sent me a video between the argument between um, Gates and Rev G, right? And I was supposed to show y'all that video that morning. The Lord didn't let me do it. The message had to get out. The conversation that was meant to be had, it had to be had. And that was the end of the conversation. So there were things that I said in that conversation that was so prophetic. And I know it was because I'm going to tell y'all a secret. In case y'all didn't know, I've been trying to tell you niggas for a long time. I do not talk to Triggs behind the scenes. I did not know any of this stuff the morning I went live, but I do know that I had a prayer before I went live and I spoke scripture during that live. And in that live, there were things I wanted to say, and I could hear the voice of the Lord telling me no. And here we are tonight with the revelation of the things that Triggs told us. And I'm moved. I'm really, really spiritually moved by this. This is a lot. This is really heavy, and it's a heavy moment because this has been coming down the pipeline for a long time. There's some people in this chat right now. I've told you to just be patient. Her day is coming. Her time is coming. Just give it a moment. Just wait. Just wait. Because I knew what God was saying. He's been telling me for a minute to just tuck away. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to fight. You don't have to battle. You don't have to do nothing. When you're a child of the Most High, there ain't too much you got to do except lament to Him. You cast your cares upon the Lord, and He will redeem you in any and everything that you experience. I'm so thankful to Triggs for showing the resilience that he has through some of the most difficult shit that any human being can experience. I lost my grandmother to cancer. And even though that shit was over 20 years ago, it still moves me to this day. Fuck cancer. I've lost a lot of people to it. But I'm so thankful to your happy heart and for your peaceful heart and the pure place that you're coming from. And that gives me inspiration because the shit that these people have put you through, it gives me a completely different point of view. I already had an angry point of view towards the bullshit they've been doing. But this right here, it puts it on another level. To be this demonic and to be used this much by the enemy to come after your brethren. I have never seen anything in my life so ridiculous and so sickening. Never in my life. And I'm almost 50 fucking years old. And the fact that there's no shame and that you're still finding ways to twist this around as if this is still somehow this man's fault. So I heard Smoke. I watched you post some things on your community wall, and I'm just going to talk. I'm not even looking at my notes yet. I'm sorry. I'm going to get in the chat, but I just need to get this off my chest. I saw some messages that Smoke God had posted on his wall. And he was saying on Photon's panel that they were going to somehow bring this up to a judge to prove to a judge that this is the reason why they have gone to the measures that they have. I'm talking about showing people the square footage of this man's home that he was living in. Shout out to you for being smart enough to do what you did. Because a few of us did what you did because of these people and because of their need to and their thirst to dox and to come after people's families. So I did something very similar to that. That's why they're still trying to look for me. But yeah, they're showing the square footage of the home, what the house looks like inside. And it's not like it was like a Carrie situation where she just there by herself and her dog. This man's minor daughter is living in this house too. Minor daughter. While they want us to get up in arms about this phone call to Brianna, Tamara's daughter. Right? They want us to get up in arms about a phone call to a 36-year-old girl, a 36-year-old woman whose star could never even dream of being on her own daughter's level, right? I know exactly what Triggs is saying. This woman has really got her shit together. And she was raised by a good family. And Star had nothing to do with it. I'm going all over the place. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me just get in the chat real quick and talk to y'all. And then I'm just going to get into my notes because I'm really upset. Like I'm really upset. I can't believe these people have taken this shit to this level. And their blind iniquity has got them still doing this to themselves. I'm just flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted. You said you said DMO sweetheart, a little hurt, but I'm okay. How about you? Processing. Child, we all are. You said here, but pretty sleepy. Okay, I think I read that. You said honestly, I think I really need a break from this space. It's too toxic. See, now y'all can understand why content creators are not interested in going live and just doing this all the time in this space. We're just not interested. I can't be here doing this all the time. I can't involve myself with this all the time. This is just ridiculous. And I don't know how they can. I don't. But again, they haven't come up with any good reason. Still, I don't care what these messages are saying. None of this stuff is ever going to get past a judge. They are not going to care about any of these little YouTube dramas or little YouTube beefs or little YouTube issues y'all be having with each other. They do not care. All they want to know is why y'all have been pulling up the square footage of where this man's children live, why y'all been pulling up his trucks, his background, his baby mom, his wife, why y'all have been pulling this information up and sharing this with the public. This is what they're going to want to know. They're not going to care that he said that Alan Logic's, that he did a parody on Alan Logic's old business. They're not going to care that he was talking shit about you as the smoke god. They're not going to care that he was calling you piss jug man. That this is little parodies. They're not crimes. As much as Anti wanted y'all to believe, because she has a thirst for somebody to be in prison. She doesn't care if it's y'all. She doesn't care if it's one of us. She don't care who it is. So she will keep you on a continuous whirlwind of bullshit until you fall right in the fucking inferno. And you think she's going to be there to pull them out? Do y'all think Anti is going to pay any of y'all legal fees? Kip, do you think Anti is going to pay for an attorney? Because let me tell you how much fucking money you're going to need. for all the continuous, of the continuation of you, telling us that you are being served and that you are you're dodging the process servers and you're dodging the police, right? All this stuff. When you finally get booked and when they finally get you in court, you're gonna need at least 20,000 from the rip. You're gonna need at least 20,000 from the rip. That's just for them to look at your shit. Okay, that's just for them to start receiving the discovery. Once they get all the videos, once your lawyer gets all the fucking videos and all the evidence, the 10-hour live streams on Photons, right? The 11-hour live streams over there, plus now your own videos too, plus all your live streams with Smoke God. Once they get all of this online evidence and proof of you constantly harassing and doxing this innocent person, all in the name of, and as you have admitted, even tonight, you were admitting it's only because you guys have been roasted by this man, not because he did something to harm your families or harm you or harm your kids, or not because he got you fired, not because he revealed your information to anybody. None of that happened, right? No proof of any of that. That you have to, like, y'all keep thinking that the sector's opinion of this is going to help you in court. None of us are going to be there to help you. Stargate, you're not going to be able to go in court and tell them, well, these nigger bitches and these gorilla bitches are jealous of me and they want Triggs, and Triggs is just trying to make me jealous of them. None of that is going to work with a judge on a harassment charge, on a stalking charge. And the fact that you're aware of it now and you're like still like doubling, tripling down, Kip, this is aggravated at this point. That's a fucking felony in the state of Georgia. You're looking at prison time over YouTube drama. It could never ever get that fucking serious in life. That YouTube beef, right? It can't. I know I say, if I find out you bitches do some shit to my kids, I might shoot your ass. And I probably would. But I would never, I would just remove myself from the situation first. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm smart enough to not continue to engage with you stupid bitches. Because I know what the outcome is going to be. So I'm not going to continue, to just continue to engage with you stupid asses. It's crazy that you guys think that this is normal behavior. And I don't see the normal people. Like, shout out to TC. I seen him on the panel at first trying to roast the whole thing because they were trying to roast it first. But as Breaking the Culture brought up the fact that Triggs called Stargate's daughter, Star was on that panel ready to talk her shit, y'all. Let me tell y'all. We're gonna get into that. Let me just go through these comments before I get lost in the comments, y'all. You said why I bop on the balcony. You said okay. You said, hey auntie, very true, auntie. Hey Joe and Keeper. Hey D, I appreciate you being in the building. And P, I know I said hi to you. What's up, Ghost? I appreciate you in the building as well. I seen you hop off that panel. When they got to talking about her daughter, you hop right off that panel, honey. You said they worrying about repossessions. Like this, like, man, I had a car repossessed before. What the fuck? So fucking what? Like, what the fuck? These motherfuckers is crazy, yo. It is a lot, man. It is really a lot. Hey, Redbone, I appreciate you being in the building. My opinion, definitely appreciate you as well. Fuck fucking cancer, man. Fuck cancer. Very demonic, right? You said they're a different fucking. They are a different kind of species. Like, we can't even call them a breed. They a species. You said roasting is roasting, but this here is something on a diabolical level. The only thing I can think of is Romans chapter 1, verse 28, that they have been given over to their own iniquities. That's the only thing I can think of, that somebody would be this blinded with this nonsense, right? Jesus, man, I'm telling you. You said, so contacting your daughter was different, right? Like, like it was okay for her to call his minor daughter to talk shit about her father, right? To lie about her father. But it was completely okay. It was completely a problem. It was completely okay for her to do that. But as soon as he calls her grown daughter, 36-year-old daughter who is well put together, got her shit together, right? 36-year-old has a good mind, got her shit together, raised by good people. He decided to reach out to her because obviously she has more sense than her own mother. And he reached out to her to let her know not only what her mother has been doing by doxing and harassing him for the past 4 years, but that he would like to come to a resolution about the issue. If she would like to contact him, he would appreciate that. That is what he said. He didn't threaten her daughter. He didn't talk crazy to her daughter. He didn't do any of that. And you know what Star did when she found out? This is funny, okay? Don't be drinking no water or no juice when I tell y'all this fucking gag, okay? Because, honey, listen. You know what Star did when she found out her daughter got called? They had to play the recording for Star. Shout out to Triggs for having that recording. They had to play the recording for Star to hear her own daughter's voice. Her whole fucking demeanor changed. She got to call her family now. I got to call them. I got to call my family. I got to call them. I got to call and find out. So wait a minute. So you haven't spoken to your daughter, Star? So Triggs Triggs spoke to your daughter before you did. Oh my God, today. Ain't this some shit? Triggs has spoken to your daughter more than you have. Oh my God, today. My God, today. You know, that is hilarious. Okay, I have to laugh about that shit. That's fucking hilarious. Okay, because that is what the fuck your bitch ass gets, Star. This if this ain't karma, honey, coming back to bite a bitch on the ass, okay? I don't know what karma is if this ain't it. Let's say it like she would say it. This is karmatic debt, okay? This is karmatic debt, okay? Oh, this is so deliciously funny. It's so fucking funny. It's funny, it's sad at the same time, it's moving, it's everything at the same goddamn time. Okay. But honey, that was delicious. Okay. The way that you just your whole demeanor just changed and you just had to jump down off the panel and like you didn't want to waste no time. Um, um, Photon was trying to hold you on the panel and talk about it and stuff, and she was just like, I have to go. I have to call the women in the family. I have to call the women in my family." Because it sounded like she wanted to like keep up the narrative that she warned the women and she told the women that this dangerous monster was coming after her and all this bullshit. Honey, well, your warning didn't work, okay? Because if you were warned, right? I find that funny because if you were actually warned, right? If you were actually warning them, like you say, it seems like they would have called you and warned you that he actually called, right? But for some reason, Star, for some odd reason, Star, nobody warned you. Nobody called you, Star, to tell you. See, what I was expecting Star to say, I'm gonna get to y'all comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I told y'all this is I have notes, but this is off the rip. This is off the hip right now. I listen. I expected Star to get on that panel raging like a fucking ox out of fucking on a listen, I expected that bitch to be raging, okay? Like a fish out of water trying to flop her ass back in the fucking ocean. That's what I expected her to be doing. I expected her to come out like a raging bull looking at a red flag. That's what I expected her to do, right? Because that's what Star does. Star usually jumps out the window, even if she's wrong, even if she's lying, and makes this whole spectacle of situations and everything else. Until oh, this was so delicious. Until real fucking life slapped the shit out that bitch. That's what the fuck just happened. Right? See, Kip is just crazy. He just out of his fucking mind. He know what's going on, but in his mind, he just he's I can't even explain it, child. I don't know. Anyway, he gonna keep doing that shit. Okay, Star everything. Her image is everything to us in this sector. She wants us to believe that she is just this wonderful, perfect woman. Everything is great in her life, and we're all the low lives. And she got everything together. She's a mother that's bounced back from all this stuff, and she raised two daughters and had to go through all these emotionally traumatic relationships, and she's just come through, and she's on top of the world now. This is what Star has always wanted us to believe, that her daughters look up to her, that they just love her. She has never had any issues with her children or any of this stuff, right? Child. Well, how come your daughter? How come your daughter didn't tell you she had a conversation with Triggs? Hmm? So Photon wanted to try to save her, right? And say, well, you know, this ain't 1990 where everybody got voicemail anymore. You know, people are always checking their voicemails. Oh, Photon, 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 Photon. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, yeah. Triggs has more of the conversation. Just so you didn't, just in case you didn't know, there's additional convo. So, and I find that hilarious that Star wasn't even aware of it because that's what I was expecting. I was expecting her to get on that panel like a raging fucking bull, mad that she found out from her daughter herself that this man had called, right? That her daughter called her and said, "Hey, mom, I need you to get your shit together." Or, "Hey, mom, I can't believe this man called me." Or, "Hey, mom, I'm scared for my life." Or, "Hey, mom," anything. She didn't say anything to Star. Guess where Star found out? From us. Oh, this is so I should not be laughing this much at 1:30 in the morning. Child, this is fucking phenomenally hilarious. Okay. This is hilarious. This was definitely the highlight, if I can say, of all the heaviness that we experienced tonight. And knowing what Triggs has had to experience and the things he's had to go through. And, to just get that. See, God has a sense of humor, okay? He got a sense of humor because that is hilarious. Okay. But yeah, contacting her daughter is somehow a problem, but it was perfectly fine for her to contact his child. Don't make no sense. The patterns, right? You said, I don't give a fuck what was said. Triggs has not maliciously doxed any of them. Never at any given time. If he did, they would just have it, right? And here's the kicker about it, because Kip keeps running this whole idea because Photon was saying to him, well, hey, he's going the legal route with this. It looks like he's willing to go to the fullest extent of the law about this. And Kip is like, let him go. Let him do it. Let him do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have a defense, sir, right? You can even try to say that you're going to countersue with some type of, countersuit against him. First of all, there's no countersuits in criminal, prosecution. But if you wanted to do a civil, okay, right? So what are you going to do in this civil situation, right? Are you going to try to tell them that you're also being harassed? Because if you're using this flimsy stuff that you're posting on this community wall, Smoke, and what Stargate is trying to say, that we're nigger bitches and that we're gorilla bitches and we're jealous and all the, none of these defenses you guys are using have anything to do with what you are being charged with. This is the part y'all really don't understand. You are literally in a hunger. Have y'all watched the Hunger Games? That's my favorite series. That's one of my favorite series. Is the Hunger Games. That shit right there. You are in a Hunger Games arena fighting for your life right now. And all you have is a fucking butter knife. Like, all you niggas got, y'all don't even have a butter knife. Y'all got a bow and arrow. Y'all don't even have the arrow. You just got the bow. That's it. Like, you don't have, you have a pebble in your hand in the Hunger Games arena. Like, do you understand the battle that you're in? Y'all don't understand. Y'all are still trying to do this for like 5 trolls in the chat. That's literally what you're doing. Kip, you're literally like yelling at the top of your lungs about you being the best troll at 60 years old. And when you get in that courthouse on April 23rd, is that what you're going to tell the judge? Like, well, I did this because I want to be the best troll. Like, is that what you're going to tell them? When the police come and finally, because obviously there has to be a warrant out for your arrest. There has to be. Not even just trying to serve you, right? Because of the fact that they were able to give this man a TPO the same day, because of the amount of evidence he has against you. This is the part you guys aren't listening to, right? The amount of evidence that he has against you, and the fact that they gave him that TPO the same day, is because of the serious nature of these crimes. And so there's probably more than likely a warrant out for your arrest, Donald Winters. That's why everybody's like, yeah, go ahead and go down to the court. Go ahead and go down to the police. So they can lock your stupid ass up, right? And book you and arraign you for these charges. All of this because Triggs roasted you? Mm. That man has never done anything to deserve all of this. He just has not deserved all of this. Been saying it, right? He don't care. He don't. He can't care. There's no way. You said, and her adopted bird walked right into it. She walked right into that shit, man. And she, it was like a deer in headlights. She was like caught like a deer in headlights. Just, child. You said neither does Hawkspit, child, for years. You said keep her because they have something to prove, which is absolutely nothing. That's the crazy part, right? There's literally nothing to prove to any of us because we don't give a fuck. All we're here now for is to watch the end of the crash out, to watch all of y'all get popped. That's what we're here for now. You had multiple opportunities to get off of the AFW pot, and y'all have continued to go on with this AFW pot, and you're still doing it now. And so, this is what you get. And Triggs lied to me, right? That's what she. And well, Judge Triggs lied to me. Okay, what did he lied to you about? Did he lie about money he owes? Did he lie? What did he? He just lied to me. He lied about not being Laquan Fisher. Like, so I stalked him, Your Honor. Like, oh my God, you said mofos holding grudges for strangers that they will never ever meet. And it's crazy. Now y'all gonna meet the nigga. Y'all wanted to meet Triggs so bad. Y'all wanted to meet Triggs so fucking bad, right? So now you have the opportunity to meet him in the flesh. And I know none of y'all can afford the legal fees that you're about to face. I know you can't. I know you can't. I know, Kip, according to that CDL that's suspended and revoked, you, sir, don't have. Yeah, you're gonna need 20,000 at least because of all the admissions that you're making every single day. No defense attorney is going to take your case without a hefty, hefty down payment. And then you're going to have to continue with that because of all the discovery they're going to have to receive and how they're going to have to twist this case without and do it within the law and within the parameters of the law, right? And still try to have some kind of defense for you, which I don't see there being one. There's not much of a defense for you at all, Kip. And the rest of you, y'all don't have one either. I know y'all want to, because anti-Afro is gassing y'all heads up to believe that somehow this internet shit, pans out the same way in the court of law. It just fucking doesn't. And y'all dummies are about to find the fuck around and find out. And anti is not going to be there to represent you, right? Because she's not a lawyer. And anti also doesn't have the money to pay a lawyer to help you through this shit. So I don't know what's going to happen. Now, Kip, with you, because and I don't know, right? I don't really know, but I'm thinking it's probably going to end up a criminal charge with you, and once you get arraigned, they might actually give you a court appointed attorney, right? You know, but they can only take this but so far too. They just going to tell you to take the plea at this point because you're fucked, okay? With all the shit you've been telling us and all the stuff you've been revealing about your whereabouts and what you've been doing and how you've been dodging the police and how you've been dodging. How you go from recording yourself running to police stations daily, right? Recording yourself on video. You got the whole camera up to the top of your face and all this other stuff. They telling you put the camera down. I have the right to record and all this other stuff, right? How you running to the police just for them to come for you, and now you running from the police. Now that was also a highlight of the night. That shit was also fucking hilarious. Okay. How the hell did we go from running to the cops to running from the cops? Like, what the fuck? This shit don't make no fucking sense, yo. You said proving they are winning at harassment, stalking, humiliation, and doxing with malicious intent. This is all this is all you guys are winning at. You're winning only that. And it's so fucking sad that y'all can't even see it. Y'all don't even realize like the game that you're playing. Y'all don't even realize the fight that you guys are in. Y'all have like no idea the fight that you're in. Like he said it. The what isms is not going to work on a it's not going to work on a witness stand. You are not the what about isms and what about when Triggs didn't show up with Remix and T Pre's daughter and everybody and Raw B's none of that stuff is going to matter in the courts. They are the only thing they're going to want to know is why why they have beyond a preponderance of evidence of information of this group of people in a group called the Anti-Fraud Warriors LLC have been doxing, harassing, stalking, humiliating, monitoring, surveying multiple people and their families for the betterment of 10 years or more. I mean, we're talking with Umar, we're talking with Boyce Watkins, we're talking with Michi X. Anti has been at this for over 10 years. It's just different people now that are on her team. But she has been doing this for over 10 years. That's how long. There is actual evidence of her. For Star, it's been 4 to 5 years of her stalking and harassing, doxing, humiliating, surveying, and monitoring this man with malicious intent and contacting his children as well. And the only thing the judge is going to want to know is not if we are gorilla bitches, not if we are nigger bitches, not if we're jealous of you, not about the Smoke God t-shirt, not about whether you are the queen of the smoke gods, whether you're the queen of binaries. None of that is going to matter in that court with that judge. The only thing they're going to want to know is why you've been doing this. What is your reason? And do you have evidence that anything that he is showing you, that he is showing to the court, is opposite of what they're seeing? Do you have proof that any of this is a lie? You can't just say it's a lie and all of us are going to just believe, the judge is going to believe you like the sector. You have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, Star, that the evidence presented to the court about you stalking, harassing, humiliating, doxing with malicious intent is false. And that, my friend, is going to be impossible. Because that is what you have been doing for at least 4 years. That is a lot of content. And you, my friend, you have spent probably the most time on those panels, those 11-hour panels, those 12-hour panels, those 14-hour panels. You spent the most time talking about this man with Photon all day and all night and hours and hours and hours and hours of it. You. But none of that is going to work. You said ready? He said ready. She was talking shit before she found out Triggs called the grown ass daughter. Exactly. Exactly. She was talking that shit. And all that went out the window today once you realized that man actually talked to your daughter. But you found out from the sector. You ain't even talked to your daughter. Your daughter obviously don't fuck with you. So all this shit about you had to warn them, it's clear you didn't even speak to them. Because if I had warned my children about this and then they got an actual phone call, I would have known about it before the sector knew. I would have knew. Just like I knew that somebody did reach out to my daughter. They didn't call her, but they tried to reach her on Facebook. I knew about that before the sector ever knew about that. Hmm. Y'all wouldn't have known about it if I didn't tell you. Ain't that a bitch? You see the difference, Star? The sector wouldn't have even known that them bitch ass AFWs tried to reach my daughter. Not on Facebook, on Instagram. That's what it was. On Instagram. Right? They tried to reach her on there. But I knew about it because she told me. She let me know what was going on. That's not what happened with Star. You were ready and geared up tonight. You probably had your shit ready to go talk your shit. Had your snacks ready. Because you don't drink, so, you don't smoke or nothing. But you had your snacks ready. You had your milk. You had your Chipotle, right? You was ready to go, honey. You was ready to get it in about LF, wasn't you? Huh? You was ready to get it in tonight. Until breaking the culture. She done broke up the party and let you know. It was your friend breaking the culture. She had to let you know that Triggs called your child. Triggs called your daughter. Not for any malicious intent. And showed you the recording. So you better stop listening to Anti telling you don't listen to anybody else in the sector, because had you been listening to the video earlier, you would have known ahead of time that your daughter has already talked to Triggs. And then you would have been able to call her before you got on Photon's panel, right? Making an ass of yourself once again. Oh, that is just deliciously just so satisfying. It really is. And I don't like to laugh at people's, misfortunes. I usually do not laugh at people's misfortunes. But this you deserve this laugh. You deserve every bit of this. I don't feel sorry for you in any way. I'm gonna take a quick break because I thought I had my water next to me and I don't. So let me go grab my water real quick, guys. And then we'll be right back to the shenanigans, child. Cause listen. That's always going to be one of my favorite timers there. I just love the music on it. It's so chill. So, anyway, y'all, let's get back into this right now. I did got to take a little break and grab my water and stuff. So, I hope you guys were able to get up and get what you needed. And let's get back into this. So beautiful. You said she needs to stay her stupid ass off of panels and get her shit together. Like what, girl? She needs a full life change. Like I don't know what it is, but I think I don't know. We'll see, right? Because I didn't go back over there to look, but maybe tonight really woke her ass up. You know, now she's got to be embarrassed by in front of her daughter. You see what I'm saying? I think that these are some of the things that might actually make these people stop doing the stupid stuff they're doing. You know, like now your daughter knows about your behavior, right? And obviously, she didn't care enough to call you and tell you like she got this call, and she's obviously spoken to him after he left that message. So she called him back and didn't call you. That speaks volumes, Star. Volumes. But that ain't nobody's fault but her own. You said that motherfucker ran for the hills. CC ran up off that panel so quick. You said interesting. Star didn't leave the panel ASAP. She was still trying to talk to them about her daughter rather than calling her daughter. Well, I think she was trying, but then as they when they played the recording for her, that's when she realized first of all he did obviously talk to her daughter, and she was trying to process that and saying, "Oh, I gotta call them," like trying to save face with us, but you should have already known that Triggs called your daughter. That should have been something you knew before the sector knew. Because your daughter, if you were close to your daughter, and if this conversation with Triggs and your daughter went in your favor, your daughter would have been calling you, not calling Triggs. But she called you. She didn't call you. She called Triggs. You are now scrambling around trying to call your daughter at 1 o'clock at night after finding out that Triggs spoke to your daughter. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a motherfucking bitch? You said beautiful, she won't. You said this is her life and engagement. It's a damn shame. You said gotta go call my daughter. Gotta go call my daughter, right? I mean, it wasn't no F you. I'm a put you to sleep. I'm a put you to rest. I'm a put you in the ground. None of that happened. It was I gotta go. I gotta go. First, she was trying to go with this narrative that she had warned all the women in her family, but she couldn't keep that up once she heard that he actually spoke to her. And she's just like, I gotta call her. I gotta call my daughter. I gotta call my daughter. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first time Stargate has called her daughter in the longest time. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if her daughter didn't answer the phone because it's the middle of the night. I will call you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You're not even important enough that I would have called you during the day to tell you that I spoke to this person who's been telling me that you've been stalking them for years. Because how else would Triggs know how well she has done in life being raised by her father if he hadn't spoke to her? So it speaks volumes that your daughter wanted to speak to Triggs and not you. And you had to find out from Breaking that he spoke to your daughter. You said she talks to that woman that gasses her up, that gasses up that ego. That ego man is a killer, man. If you don't kill the ego and put the ego in its place, it could be your biggest downfall is your ego. Hey, Clark, appreciate you being in the building. You said she did, show did, T Pre. I got to go. It was the way she ran for the hills like that. You said, oh, wow, he called her daughter. Child, yeah. I don't feel bad at all. You said, Clark, you said, damn. You said that shit was it was so deliciously hilarious. Like it was so fucking hilarious. What's up, Mikey? I'm sorry, I didn't realize you was live over there. They told me QT told me that you was live, but by then I had already hit the live button, so I didn't realize that you were live. Otherwise, I would have came over there. But I figured I would just go live and talk my shit over here. He said, "Child, you definitely need to stay off these panels." And you would have known. I'm just saying she would have known about this if she wasn't on these panels running and anti them. They be trying to tell them, don't go over there, don't go watch that, don't go listening to that. That's only going to get you upset. No, you need to go over there so you can be informed of what you're about to be charged with, right? And your dumbass not listening to this bitch. You didn't even know your daughter had contact with Triggs. You didn't even know. That it's obvious he's talked to her. You said not Carmetic dead, child. We're gonna use her words. You said that MFer said, I got to go call the females in the family. I gotta go call all the females in the family. I gotta see if they're okay. They didn't want to call you. And it's funny, I bet you the daughter's been in touch with everybody and told them, I got this call. Y'all will not believe. I got this call from this man. I spoke to him and he was a very nice man. And he let me know that mom has been over here. Uh, well, Tamara, she probably don't even call her mom. She probably calls her Tamara. Tamara has been over here doxing and harassing him and surveying him and doing all kinds of crazy stuff on the internet with this man. She's still at it with these internet men. That's probably what she said to the other women in the family. They've already been warned, Star. Don't worry. You ain't got to call them. Okay. You ain't got to call them. Okay. Now that's funny, child. Hey, Steph. You said her daughter didn't tell her that he left her a voicemail. Not only that, her daughter didn't tell her that she spoke to him after that. Her daughter didn't call her and tell her that a voicemail was left. Star had no clue. We knew before Star knew. Now, how about shout out to Breaking? Because Breaking was watching. Okay. Breaking was paying attention. Okay. Okay. Child. You said you mean daughter didn't tell the mama they got a phone call? Like, what the fuck? Okay. The daughter didn't even inform Star. Y'all hear the words coming out? The daughter, Star, had no idea that there was ever a call. She had no idea. None whatsoever. Not even from her own daughter. My child did tell me ASAP. That's the crazy part. They did tell me. Just like Triggs' daughter told him ASAP what was going on. But Star's adult daughter didn't bother to call her and tell her. I mean, that is delicious. You said I was thinking the same thing, Keeper. That is sad, ain't it? It is crazy fucking work, child. You said instead she was a featherless bird flapping around. I got to call little birdie in them. You said real quick, I had you muted. The girl said she called all the women in the family to see if they got called. She then said they said they'll get back to her. They'd get back to her. What? Oh, I am way behind in these chats. What? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is getting worse and worse and worse. So she said that they told her that they'll call her back. Well, first of all, it's the middle of the night, right? Second of all, if they were so alarmed about this alleged abusive person who's on the loose and contacting the women and abusing them, right? Trying to abuse them. They don't seem very alarmed about that, right? And it's funny because Since the daughter has already spoken to him and she doesn't feel alarmed, even to the point where she didn't even call you and inform you that she had a conversation with him. On top of that, when you call her, I like what I just told y'all. I bet you the daughter didn't even answer the phone. She probably called her mother or somebody. And her mom said, I'll call you back. Probably tomorrow. After I speak to Brianna. And she lets me know what happened. Mm, mm, mm. This is a damn shame, child. This is a damn shame. You said they was trying to convince her to stay on the panel. She was like, "Oh hell no, I got to go." Hey ma, what you doing online? All right. They didn't even give her like any type of clue, like nothing, like fuck you, mom, nothing. There was nothing. Like I said, I would have expected Star to get on that panel raging like a bull, and she had no clue. You said, but she found out through the fucking sector. She found out through breaking the culture of silence. You said basically that I guess keep her. You said her daughter probably embarrassed. Her daughter probably don't even fuck with her. But even if she had been embarrassed, right? Wouldn't y'all think that she would call her first? You would assume that if I got a call about a family member of mine and there was something going on with that family member, if I didn't call them to speak about the conversation and I spoke to the person who called me first before I even bothered to give you a call, and obviously this was a few days ago. This was several days ago. This is not like this was today. So she's had multiple opportunities over the past few days to call Star and let her know that Triggs, she's had a conversation with him. And she never did that. So she probably is embarrassed and angry at the same time at Star. But even in anger and embarrassment, it still seems like she would have called her unless there is such a rift between those two women that she didn't even bother to contact her. You said, and she found out in mid talking shit. Okay. You said, why would her female family members have to get back to her instead of just saying yes or no to being contacted? Exactly. Especially her own daughter, right? She didn't tell Triggs she'll get back to him. Why do they want to get back to Star? Maybe they're cooperating with Triggs in this investigation against her. Could be that. It could be they already are aware of Star's inappropriate 12-year-old like behavior. It could be that she has had issues like this with other people as well. Could be a lot of things, y'all. Could be a lot of reasons why this is happening. You said D7, you said Redbone. You said maybe daughter called the family. That's what I was thinking. The daughter called her mom and called everybody and let them know already. And Star didn't call nobody and tell nobody shit. She didn't call nobody, warning nobody about a motherfucking thing. Nope, you didn't. Your daughter, when Trigg spoke to her, that was the first time they had heard anything about your YouTube shenanigans, at least the most recent ones here in this sector, right? Because they know about your YouTube shenanigans with that man that you had living in the house with the kid. I mean, with the woman. They know about that. They know about the men beating on you and stuff like. They know about that. You know, they probably just didn't know that you were still up to your bullshit and have gotten worse to the point that now you are now facing stalking and harassment charges on an innocent man who your daughter was willing to speak to and didn't speak to you. Damn shame. Again, in court, this will not stand. Exactly. You said what? A TPO, if that's the correct term. Yep. A TPO is a temporary protective order. So it's given for people like if you have, it's usually given in domestic violence situations, or in like some kind of domestic issue, right? Or something along those lines. Usually the relationship is more intimate, but you can get a TPO against another civilian if that person is stalking and harassing you, and you can prove that they're doing that. Usually you have 10 days in Georgia to get one. It takes 10 days to get it. But if you can prove that there's like aggravated stalking going on, and that this person is just like it's relentless and it's daily, every day, all day, every day, and your life is in danger, your children's lives and everything else, you can prove that, you could get that same TPO the same day. And that's what Triggs was able to do. And that's what makes this case so profound. But because they're listening to anti-Afro and they're not listening to Triggs and listening to what we hear, they have no clue what they're stepping into. Yep, it's a temporary protection order. Yep. You said his mocking of the ex parte order and his continued intentional disregard for it despite actual knowledge of it could be considered further evidence of necessity for a long-term order. And here's the thing, once they actually could, the judge is probably more than likely going to give a long-term order on April 23rd, right? And whether he shows up or not. And if he doesn't show up, he'd be even more of a fool because now you're held in contempt of court, right? He's not going to be able to worm out of this. So I have no idea why he's still grandstanding for some strangers on the internet. I have at your age, I have no idea why you're doing this, kid. You know, but just you're it's so reckless to just be up here telling us that you're aware that they're trying to serve you, telling us that you're aware that the police are looking for you. You told us that you know, and the judge is going to be like, "What are you doing?" So you told the internet that you know about it. You can't come here and now say you're innocent. You said even if he hasn't been formally served, he's got actual knowledge and is choosing to disregard it. The court will likely take that into consideration. Like you won't even stop when you know this court issued an order directing you to stop. Is that right? Hmm. That deranged lady is still in there telling them no court is going to grant that order. Oh my God. She is literally over there telling them that shit, and they are walking. She is walking them right into a brick wall. You said get back to her. They're not close. Okay. He said I don't give a fuck what day or time my sons are talking to me. Exactly. They are going to talk to me first. They are absolutely going to talk to me. They're not going. They wouldn't even begin to reach out to you. They wouldn't even begin. They would wonder why the fuck you're calling them to begin with, and then they would be reaching me. You know what I mean, to find out. You said in other words, the bird called her mama, and she said, "I ain't got time for this bullshit," and hung up. Okay, that's what happened. That's what we're gonna go with. Okay. So yeah, so that phone call I thought was crazy. I thought Triggs' health concerns were that was really hurtful, and I was really sad to hear that. And but I'm glad to know that he's doing well. I am glad to know that. I'm glad to know that you're feeling better and that you're taking care of yourself and that you're doing well. And take as much time as you need. You don't need to do any of this if you don't want to. You know, um, that was my thing on him too. But it hurt me so bad that he had to experience that and probably felt alone in all that, you know, with all the bullshit that these people were putting him through. And even though they may not have been aware fully, and obviously they might be aware now if they've doxing the doctors and all this other stuff in the chat, you know, but even if they weren't aware of it, it doesn't matter. It's no excuse for the things that they've been doing for the past couple of years. You said I done made her mad asking why wouldn't she have a yes or no about a call. I can call or text mine right now, and I promise I can. Any of my kids are going to answer me right now if I call them. If they would answer me right now, they would want to know why I'm calling them at 2 o'clock in the morning, and they are going to answer. If somebody on the internet reaches out to them and tells them something about me, they are not going to call you back. They're going to call me. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to know before anybody else knows. But in your case, Star, nobody in your family called you. That is sick. And that speaks volumes about you and about your relationships with your family that we've been talking about for a long time while you out here talking about everybody else. It's the fact that y'all don't have any evidence of the things that you guys are saying is why you guys are going up an uphill battle that you are guaranteed to lose. You guys are going to lose this battle. No matter how bad you want to twist this. I mean, I don't know any attorney that could get any of you out of this shit. Real nigga shit. And then the fact that you're continuing to double down with it is what's disgustingly sad. It's sad for you, not anybody else. Y'all keep coming up with this idea that there's somehow this coalition of people that are, we're on this one side and you're on another side and we got to take a side and we're fighting against you and you got to battle us and we're battling you and you got to battle us and you've beat us and now we're mad and child, it is so sad, the depraved minds that y'all have. It is so fucking sad. And this is why the people of this sector take the breaks that we do. We walk away like we do. I don't go live for months, right? I don't touch some of these subjects for fucking months, okay? Because I ain't got time for it. I can't do this to myself. I love myself way too much to be running around here having this level of stress on myself, when I don't even have to. Y'all, this ain't even that important. It really isn't. But it's interesting to watch, and I'm here for it. And I always gonna support Triggs through all of this anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to keep you in prayer, Triggs, and your family as well. And like I said to you the other day, I didn't even say it with knowing all that I know. When God is moving on your behalf, you don't have to lift a finger. There's not a thing you have to do. Everything you're doing it right, and God will move the rest of it. Any negativity that comes their way behind it, you ain't got nothing to do with that. That's not your problem or your fault. You've already been redeemed from that and cleansed from that. That happened a long time ago before this even began to manifest. So don't let that concern you. Don't let that bother you. Sometimes you got to slay the head of the demon, and that's it. It is what it is. So anyway, guys, I'm getting tired now. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I do appreciate all of y'all for coming out and hanging out with me tonight and just hearing my commentary on the show tonight. Um, and putting it all together and just just coming to terms with everything that's happened. I'm looking forward to Trig's show on Monday. I know that he said he's going to be doing a couple lives a week for us, okay? So we can see the outcomes of all the shenanigans that's coming, you know? But like he said, there were 8 people on that list. There's now 7. We know we know what that means, but there's now 7 people, including all those AFWs, plus people that he didn't even mention. hmm Told y'all, you want to be on the right side of history when that hammer comes down. But it's too late now because you already on the wrong side. So, either way, I will talk to y'all the next time I see y'all. And peace, guys. I appreciate y'all for coming out tonight. And thank y'all again for watching.